Hey everyone, this is Tim Beck. I'm your Chief Enablement Officer over here at SAASTEPS, and I'm interested in introducing you to SAASTEPS and CODEN through the eyes of working with CODEN, our digital workforce AI agent. CODEN is actually powered by Agentforce, but the underlying data model is SAASTEPS, and it's all sitting within Salesforce. We are known as a 100% native app, so there's no syncing between different servers externally to Salesforce. All of your data lives inside of Salesforce, which is why Agentforce is able to take that data and utilize it in the most efficient way. So to get started here, I've opened up our Agentforce agent named CODEN, and CODEN basically is here to give and grant access to anything. So really quickly here, I'm going to just say, hi, CODEN. Um, can you tell me everything about SAASTEPS? And so we'll let CODEN go back. And CODEN here, this is our Q&A agent. Basically, CODEN's here to answer questions, help you get you a better understanding about SAASTEPS, as well as areas that CODEN helps out with. And so here you can see that basically SAASTEPS has been pulled back as some information around us of being 100% Salesforce native. We have a number of different solutions. They're all tightly integrated together. We leverage the ability of being entirely built inside Salesforce, and our solution is easily implemented. It does take anywhere between 2 to 16 weeks, depending on the size of the company. Most startups, founders, we can get you up and running very quickly, like 1 to 2 weeks. For us, we're very feature rich. We've over 3,000 plus use cases built inside the technology. We've been around for 12 years building out this technology so that we can make it easy for business users like yourself to basically manage the solution. We've also made it VPAC compliant, so blind people with screen readers can go in and manage the solution declaratively. This is what's allowed us to train Agentforce, a blind entity, which we call CODEN, to basically create these different experiences. So the whole point here is we offer a bunch of different capabilities that takes your Salesforce and transforms it into what we like to call it a customer revenue machine. So really, if this sounds interesting to you, then what we can do here is say, can you help me schedule a meeting? And so, if you're interested in scheduling a meeting, basically you went from learning some marketing content to now it's like you're talking to a business development rep. And Coden's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And maybe you had some other questions, but I'm just trying to give you an example here of how we've now hooked up Coden to basically help schedule a meeting here. And this one, we do a lot of work with founders and startups. And so this one is specifically going to a bookings meeting to talk with other founders. And so you can book some time with us. Okay. So now that we've completed that part, maybe you're like, okay, great. I'd love to know how much this stuff costs. Can you help me create a quote? And, we'll see what CODEN can do here. And so CODEN comes back and says, hey, to create a quote, please visit this website. So this website is this one right here. If we were to open this up in a new tab, you would see the same thing would be coming up here, and we'll just go there. But the whole point here is now we have CODEN here who we can work with. And actually, I had already started an engagement. So let me end this engagement and let me refresh this screen really quickly here. And let's start a new engagement. All righty. So now that you've come here, we're ready to basically have a conversation with CODEN, who's now my sales agent. So CODEN's here basically to learn about what you're trying to do and what your interests are. So like what you did with the last CODEN, you would say, hi CODEN, can you help me with a quote? So we'll go there. And CODEN's going to engage with you, and CODEN's going to say, would love to assist. Can you first help me with your first and last name, your email address, your company name, and a brief description of what you're trying to accomplish? So yeah, no problem. So I am Timothy let's see here. Timothy, it's so hard to make up names, right? I'm Timothy, um, I'll say Beckman. And my email is support@saassteps.com. And I'm using that because there's some other things that I'm going to need to use that later on. I work for Beckman Inc. and I need help with quoting and sending invoices for payments. All right. So we're going to let CODEN go and do what CODEN needs to do. And CODEN's basically coming back and saying, thank you, Timothy. I've prepared initial details for your request. Would you like to explore these details more related to quoting and invoicing? And you're like, yeah, no, that would be really interesting. But before we do that, I'm going to take you over into our Salesforce environment here. And so this is CODEN's environment. So we're talking to CODEN. CODEN lives in this environment. And this is just a dashboard sharing with you kind of the life cycle of what's going on inside of CODEN here. And so what we're first going to focus on is leads. And sure enough, there's Beckman. There's Timothy Beckman. Basically, CODEN has created this lead. So if Timothy leaves CODEN's website, you still have access to Timothy's information. And you may have a little bit of understanding of what Timothy's interested in. So, but let's go back to CODEN and say, yes, we're interested in learning more. So why this is important is now we're shifting from someone who is just investigating to someone who has some intention, because now they have intention, they're interested in learning more. So great, I've set up a solution. I've set up initial steps for your solution. Could you please elaborate on what you're looking for? So I will say, I am seeking an easier way to send our basic quotes, send invoices, and automate auto and automate, let's see, billing, and maybe automate renewals. Because that would be pretty cool. All right. So what we're going to see here now is if we go back to where Beckman was sitting in leads and we refresh this, you're going to notice that Beckman is no longer in leads. And Beckman is gone on because Beckman is now someone that's converted from a lead. And now Beckman is an account. It doesn't have any one value yet, right? But there is a contact with Beckman, right? So we got Timothy Beckman and this account. And there's an opportunity because if we go over here, you can see there's an opportunity that's already created for Beckman. So we've got a number of things that have been started here. This tells me that this person is pretty interested. So let's go back and see what CODEN has created. So based on your needs, it looks like you're looking for quoting, SPQ, billing, invoicing, or renewals lifecycle management, or even SRAM. Would you like me to prepare these for a cart? And you say, yes. How about the SAASRAM bundle for 33 users, and can you have SAASTEPS services team spend 50 hours with us? So something like that. And you're like waiting for CODEN to say hello. And what will CODEN basically do at this point? So CODEN's going to come back and CODEN's going to provide some information for us here. CODEN says, I've added SAASRAM bundle for 33 users and 50 hours of SAASTEPS services. You can go to this cart and you can now proceed. So now we're going through the next step. And the cool thing here is we started on the SAASTEPS website. we're on a separate website called CODEN, which is our sales website. And this could be a landing page. It could be anything out there. It's just a website. We're just embedding Agentforce into that website, which is being powered and doing different interactions with Salesforce. But now what we're doing is we're getting ready to go through the buying life cycle. And so I'm going to open this up in an incognito window just to show you that I'm a guest user. I'm going through a checkout process. I'm in commerce, and I'm basically going through the next steps. So here in this situation, what we're doing here is we're basically now playing the buyer, and we've been the buyer the whole time. We've just been interacting with CODEN, right? So we've got this information that we can fill out about me, but before we do, let's come over here and let's talk to CODEN. And so CODEN in this experience is going through a community experience inside of Salesforce, utilizing SAASTEPS' B2B2C commerce experience, and now you're talking with CODEN again. And so it's like, hey, CODEN, yeah, I'd love to know if you have any discounts, because CODEN's here to help out with promotions and discounts. So, hi, CODEN, you help with any discounts. And so CODEN will basically go back and check to see if there's any discounts available. And it says, can you provide me your order number? No problem. Here's my order number. And we're going to go through. And it says that it sent a verification code. Can you please check that? So I am going to go actually over here really quickly to my support, and I am going to get our verification code number here. Let's come back over here. And it says your verification was successful. Would you like me to search for any promotions or that are applicable to your order? Absolutely, yes. So CODEN's going to come back and it's going to say a promotion has been successfully applied to your order here. You can see the specific details, 136, 33 licenses, and your new amount is 27,000. So it's going to go from 37,000 to 27,000. That sounds like a great idea. And yes, I would like to check out, so you're like, thank you. So all I need to do is refresh the page. We'll go through and do that. And here you can see that a discount has been applied for $9,300, and now we have that going on. So thank you, CODEN. I really appreciate that. I'm going to check out. And so it's really now the next stages of checking out this information. And we are going to go through the next steps. And really what I'm doing as a buyer, I'm just going through the next steps. Now I'm going to go through the SaaS payment processing. So I could either do a credit card, an account balance, a deferred payment, or a PO. We also do offer ACH payments. So I'm just going to do this for myself. This is a fake gateway that we have in here. We're getting ready to turn on our real one. When we do this, anybody will be able to buy SAASTEPS through CODEN as our virtual value-added reseller of SAASTEPS or our digital workforce agent. And again, anybody can implement a digital workforce agent if they have Salesforce and SAASTEPS managed package in Agentforce. So we highly recommend buying a few licenses of Salesforce, purchasing SAASTEPS' entire revenue lifecycle managed package, and then activating foundations, which includes Salesforce Agentforce, which is what we've done to create this entire environment for CODEN. So I'm going to plug in some additional information here, and then we will check out. Alrighty. And so, you can have a one-page checkout screen. This is just a couple steps to go through. So now we've got all the information. We know who we're selling to. We've got the details, the bill to, the credit card information, what we've purchased, the discounts against those different purchases. Yes, I'm ready to do this, and I'm going to place this order. So this is basically everything has been done. It's successful. So if we go back into Salesforce, now you can see that basically what has happened and what's transpired is that we've got this account here, which we're on the account screen, which now if I refresh this screen, we originally had this opportunity here, but that opportunity actually has been placed as a placeholder. And now we've got an entire different life cycle because the customer went out and checked out on their own. So no salesperson was involved and needed to check out this order. They actually went through an e-commerce live experience and then ultimately had a renewal. The reason why there's a difference in the pricing, obviously, is because there is some licenses that were provided as licenses, but we also had some services that were included in here. So there were some discounts applied to here as well as some licenses. And so the licenses are the only thing that are renewable. And so you have a renewal that's all ready to go for you. You've got a subscription, you've got an invoice, the amount that was basically due was paid, and ultimately everything else has been done and completed. So this really kind of concludes what I was trying to share with you, is that we've included this end-to-end revenue lifecycle. It's all allowing me to start from a website, but allow an agent to come in. And technically, because we have a renewal on order, we can then send out this renewal, send it out via automatic invoicing and payments. And we have our own billing terminal that can run all of those automatic billing and payments through the specific system for you. So this is one complete end-to-end solution that's now being run by basically one agent that's incorporating the entire revenue lifecycle here. And so it allows founders to basically use the solution instead of using multiple different disparate systems. So you've got Salesforce, you've got a commerce solution, you've got a quoting solution, you've got a billing solution, you've got a payment solution, you've got a billing terminal, and you have an AI agent that all works inside one system. So hopefully all of you enjoyed this. As a CEO or as a chief enablement officer, I very much enjoy using this solution. It's a lot of fun. And I hope all of you that are interested in AI understand that if you have a single data model with structured data, with a solution that is end-to-end built out like what we've done here, you can actually train an AI agent like what I just shared with you here to manage the entire process. And what we haven't shared with you yet is our account manager agent, and I will follow up with another video around that as well. So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time here. And please remember to visit SAASTEPS.com and go talk to our go-to-market agent and schedule a meeting, or visit CODEN.com and go and talk to our agent here and basically create a quote and check out. So thank you so much. Appreciate all of you.